Hey, what's going on, everyone? Sly here with Flo. Flo watching the countdown to Monday Night Football. Alex Smith, former 49er, former first-round pick, former first pick, had some things to say about the MVP conversation. Let's check this out. We'll talk about it.
I think it's down to Purdy and Lamar, and luckily enough, they're going to face off in a week on Monday Night Football.
Yeah.
But I don't know how. I mean, whether you look at the numbers or you look at the tape, whatever your measuring stick, like Brock Purdy is right there, and there's so I don't get the discussion around him. Where people, obviously it's the system quarterback, the game manager thing, it's all the weapons. Certainly when you play with another, contender in Christian McCaffrey. But he leads the NFL in about every major statistical category there is, whether it's QBR, rating, touchdowns. I mean, he's second in yards. And I think to put this in perspective for everybody out there, listen, he is on the verge of statistically the greatest quarterback season ever for the San Francisco 49ers.
They've had
But
some
that's
quarterbacks.
not a stretch.
Yeah.
I mean, they've had 3 MVPs play quarterback there.
Yeah.
And I get it's a great situation, but every MVP plays in a great situation. I think that's a illegitimate argument.
All right, man. So, Brock Purdy, Lamar Jackson, that's what it's come down to. What do you think about Alex Smith saying that and the stuff he was saying about Brock Purdy?
I pretty much agreed with everything that Alex Smith said. Obviously, it's lucky that these two guys are going to face each other one of these last few weeks of the season to pretty much prove who's going to be the MVP. For me, I know it doesn't always necessarily be the case, but I always feel whoever wins these head-to-head matchups should be favored. I know a lot of times it's by the overall number one seeding, but that's also going to contribute because of this game to see who's number ones. But I think Brock Purdy, like Alex Smith said, his stats just prove that he's the MVP of the league. He's number one in pretty much every single category as far as the quarterback position goes. You were saying something like as far as even touchdowns that he's like way up there
29
too.
touchdown passes.
Yeah, he's like 29 touchdowns to what was Lamar Jackson like?
Only 17.
Only 17. Obviously, they also both use their legs a lot, but even then, Brock Purdy's not that far behind because he's had a few of those QB sneaks where he's gotten in. But I agree with Alex Smith. Like, you can't really also knock him for having talent around him too, because like we've seen just in the history of the NFL, everybody always has. If you're going to be in the MVP discussion, you're going to be on a good team. You're going to have a lot of good players around you.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one of the dumbest arguments. And it just seems like everybody uses that. Last night I was watching the Ravens-Jaguars game, and Collinsworth and who's his co-partner, Tirico?
Mm-hmm.
Essentially, they were bashing on Purdy, saying like, well, Purdy has all these weapons around Lamar Jackson. He doesn't really have anyone. Lamar Jackson has a really good defense and really good running backs. So
yeah,
I feel this year they've been more of a running team than a passing team the Ravens have.
Mm-hmm.
But still, it seems like Lamar Jackson's getting a lot of credit. Even I was hearing guys saying Josh Allen's going to be the MVP.
Yeah,
and he didn't even do anything last night. But it just seems like these are kind of the guys that the media pushes.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what they're trying to use against Purdy because they don't want this guy to be MVP. It just seems like every single pundit analysis has been going after him. What do you think?
Yeah, man. His I don't know. To me, it's kind of weird how Lamar Jackson, when he won the MVP, he deserved it. I thought he really did.
Yeah.
This year, like the numbers aren't as great as they were when he won the the MVP. Like he had 17 passing touchdowns, I believe. How many rushing? Like 5 to 7 rushing touchdowns, and Brock Purdy has 2 rushing touchdowns. So altogether, he has like 31 touchdowns altogether. So I mean, I don't get why everyone's like pushing Lamar like out of nowhere. Last week, who was it? It was Dak Prescott, and now that he fell off the wagon, now all of a sudden it's Lamar Jackson. So I don't know. I think in order for Brock to win this award, he's got to go out and beat all these teams that like supposedly are like the MVP in the case for the MVP. So it's going to be hard for him to win. I'm not going to lie, because the way it's looking from the media, I think Fox Sports has an agenda for some reason. I heard another guy today going after Purdy. So in order for him to win, he's really got to dominate this game, which to me, he should be clear-cut favorite number one. Even if he didn't win this game against the Ravens coming up, I feel he still should be clear-cut. But the way that these reports, I don't know what, maybe he's a young dude, 23 years old, so he'll get one eventually, but right now it's time for the veterans to keep getting theirs. He's got to keep doing what he's doing. If he has one bad game these next 3 games, they're not going to give it to him. They're just not going to give it to him. It seems like they're setting it up for some of those votes to be canceled out with Christian McCaffrey And Lamar Jackson right now, if the Ravens win, they're going to give it to Lamar. I'm just going to tell you right now, they're going to give it to Lamar, even though those numbers to me, like, they're very, not pedestrian. But a few weeks ago, we had Shannon Sharp say things like, dude, why is everyone saying it's Lamar? He has pretty much almost the same numbers as Mac Jones as far as like touchdowns. So I'm like, what the hell's going on? But it is what it is, man. It's a little bit weird to me, but I don't know, man. I'm a loss for words.
Yeah, but the good thing is, obviously, we get to see them. We beat them. Like I said, all of their MVP, pretty much guys they push. That would be Lamar Jackson. He's beating Jalen Hurts.
Yep.
Dak Prescott. Those are the big three.
Yep.
It seems like they're really pushing. Obviously, I don't think we're going to see Josh Allen, right?
No.
We see the Redskins and then the Rams after this.
Yeah.
But pretty much, he's going to be in 3 out of the top 4 media darlings this year. I guess Mahomes is having a bad year too. So if he beats all 3 of them, how do you not give this guy the MVP? He's going to have beaten all 3 of them straight up with way better stats than them. Was against Dak Prescott, he had 4 touchdowns. Against Jalen Hurts, it was like, what, 3? And then
Jalen Hurts 4 against Eagles.
4?
Eagles,
yeah, so 4. That's 2 4 pieces in these primetime games. He does that again on Christmas Day. He has to be the MVP of the league.
Yeah, so I think definitely we have to have that number 1 seed, and then we gotta beat the Ravens, because if not, they will give it to Lamar. And at the end of the day, I know us Niner fans, we shouldn't be mad. All we should be happy with is getting that number 1 seed and win that damn Super Bowl. That's all pretty much that should matter for the 49ers, but it does seem a little bit disingenuous what's going on right now in the media. And we talked about this before, man. It's that West Coast bias. If Brock Purdy was on the Jets, maybe, or something like that, some East Coast team, maybe he might be getting a little bit more love right now. Not, but the fact that he's playing on the West Coast, last pick of the draft, not the biggest, not the strongest. We're just hearing all this stuff. He's not the best player on the team. It's just all these things going on and on. But damn it, what about like Kurt Warner? That kind of pisses me off. Kurt Warner had all these damn talented guys his year, and he won it. I mean, people never bashed him for that. They never bashed, oh, you have a Torrey Holt, Isaac Bruce, Marshall Faulk. Remember, what's that guy's name? Hakeem or whatever the heck his name, that weird name, that slot receiver. They had so many damn weapons out there, and they never once really went after Kurt Warner. Like, oh, man, like, what's up with this? Maybe because social media wasn't really around back then, so now you have all these social media platforms that are just blowing up just by bashing Brock Purdy. So just haven't seen that before. So hopefully we're able to take care of business against the Ravens. It's looking right now that we're probably going to have to be playing our starters that last week of the season, because the Seahawks right now are watching the game and they're not freaking looking good. It's looking like it's going to be probably the Eagles trying to compete for that number 1 seed, and they're probably they have a good chance at winning out. So it looks like Brock Purdy will probably be playing all 3 of these last final games, that's 3 of these final games, and hopefully he just keeps those numbers up, keep going up.
I would say that might be the only one good thing, though, because if he were to sit that last game, I'm pretty sure they would even hold that against him.
Oh, yeah.
So that, like, obviously it's not a good thing because we might have to risk our players getting injured to win all the way out. But as far as Brock Purdy actually winning the award, I think having all those games played will help him at the end.
So but it's the key is this game right here.
Yeah,
if he wants to win this MVP, he's got to win this game and hopefully take care of business. I know we're weak as hell on the defense. We just got torched on the defense, and so Brock Purdy might have to have another game where he goes up. I told you last week that against Arizona, our defense is probably gonna get torched, and we got freaking torched, especially against the run. Now we're hearing Kalia Davis is out. Hopefully we sign Sue. We're hearing rumors about that. So Brock Purdy, no matter what, we got to put up points, and it's going to be tougher because this Ravens defense is actually really good. So, I mean, this is going to be the ultimate test right here. The only good part is it seems like these night games at home, our fans just get jacked up, wild out, and this is where we play our best football. So hopefully it continues that way where we just show up, show out, and they're coming from the East Coast, and it's probably going to be like midnight, really, but in their time standards when the game's over. So hopefully Lamar Jackson's sleeping at the wheel, and our boys come out to show.
All right, well, you guys let us know in the comments what you guys think. Lamar Jackson, Brock Purdy, who's your guys' MVP so far? Like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell. See y'all next time.
Peace.